I've read over 50 self-improvement, business, marketing, sales, copywriting books, whatever it is. I've read over 50 of them, but I know you've heard 1,000 different times before. This is going to be the last time I'm speaking about this book on this channel, Reality Transurfing. I'm going to be giving you guys a breakdown of the teachings of it to kind of help you understand more, because you may have actually read the book, but it's quite confusing. Basically, this video, I'm going to be sharing why exactly it's important to not only read the book, but how to implement the concepts that he talks about in these steps 1 through 5. Now, if you're like me, you honestly don't mind reading because you see the benefit in it. And honestly, every single time I pick up a book, whether it's a good or a bad book, it doesn't really matter. It still shifted my belief and opened up my lens to some extent. And so that's why I think the benefit in reading actually lies in the fact that maybe you might not get the exact knowledge that you search for, but you'll always get a perspective shift and you'll always get something new that you didn't really expect. And with that being said, I'm going to share why Reality Transurfing is super powerful and how it has already kind of changed my life. And so the first lesson that we talked about this before, is pendulums. Now pendulums, I think it's pronounced pendulums. Pendulums are whatever we tend to focus our energy on, it hooks onto. So pendulums are typically negative, and it's simply things that we attach ourselves to and we attribute our energy to. So this can even turn out in the form of thoughts. If you constantly attach yourself to negative thoughts and you constantly attach yourself to a negative way of thinking, a negative mindset, you sort of get to sway with the script of negativity. And so then your following actions result in negativity because you're basing your script, you got hooked into the pendulum and you're basing everything off negativity. So every single action you have with a bad mindset, every single step that you take actually gets more trickier because you've already established that this is negative, this is hard, and this is bad. And so everything following will attribute that. Another thing that I really learned very clearly is the dual mirror effect. So obviously you've heard it before, you can't smile at the mirror and expect it to smile back. You can smile first, whatever, super basic. But it makes sense in the sense that we try so hard to reach for our goals and we put our goals really, really, really far. And so what I learned is that in the book, he talks about, well, look, if you want to make $1 million a year, just quit writing affirmations. You want to make $1 million a year. It's not going to do anything. Writing, I'm making this much money in this month, is not going to help you. What is going to help you is running slides through your head about achieving the goal. And so what this means is that you have a slide in your head that you run through. And I always do this with my eyes open. It's a little clip, like a 3-second clip of you doing the action that reaps the results. So for instance, if I want to make $20,000 next month, I'm going to run the slide through my head. I'm going to visualize it. And I'm going to visualize me closing sales calls. Or I'm going to visualize me appointment setting for my business. Or I'm going to visualize me making YouTube videos because this helps get clients and stuff like that. So I'm going to visualize the actions that it takes to make that money. Now, I don't know where the money is going to come from necessarily. And I leave that up to intention, outer intention. That is figured out for me. I don't have to worry about that. But if I run the slides through my head of like closing the deals, okay, I can envision myself doing the work. I can envision myself appointment setting. I can envision myself making the YouTube content. When you envision yourself doing the positive habits, your goals start to align with the lifeline that you're on. And so you probably have a goal that's straight, and you know what it feels like to probably be there, and you can imagine yourself having, the nice car or whatever, but the steps there are hazy. And so Reality Transurfing talks about running the slide through your head, which is focusing on the actions that it takes to reap the results. So in other words, even if you don't have a business model, even if you simply just in the business space or even in the fitness space, if you want to get bigger, if you want to gain weight or whatever it is, like if you want to get shredded, he tells you, run the slide of repping out, the weight in your head. Like run the slide through your head of bench pressing, like run the slide through your head of going to failure, feeling it, and feeling the muscles kind of, get pumped up and stuff. Like feel the slide, feel the repetitions of it happening before it actually happens. And so another thing that I learned really simply is that energy is all around us, and that when we attach ourselves to obviously pendulums, which are inherently negative, we attach ourselves to the negativity, and it's not something that we have to align ourselves with. Now, there's a lot of different things like transfer chains, frames, and things like that, which I don't fully understand. I'm still trying to understand it. And so I'm not even going to try to attempt to explain it here on the channel. I'm simply going to tell you to read the book, or just look up transfer chains. The best possible way I can explain it, I have written down here, is the path that leads from your current position to your future goal might be long. So you, to make $1 million in the next 3 years, let's say you already know your reality and you already know what's going to happen. You already knew you're going to be a millionaire in 3 years. It's like, okay, cool. So now the path is, 0 to $1 million in 3 years. And so you can actually shift yourself along transfer chains by changing the script to make it happen quicker or longer, depending on the actionable steps that you take. And so it really comes down to a manner of how quickly are you doing the actions and how much does your intention deviate. If your intention always deviates from, I want to make $15,000 this month, and then I want to make $30,000 this month, and then next month you want to make $45,000, like, it's all over the place, and it takes time for the mirror to smile back at you. The way he explains it, the dual mirror effect, is that when you raise your hand, it's not like, if I raise my hand, I'm looking at the mirror on the camera, I can see my hand raise immediately. But how reality transurfing works and how you can actually do this in your life is that you have the intention of making $25,000 a month. You raise your hand, that's the intention. And your reality will mirror that, but it takes quite longer. It has a time delay. And so it slowly looks like that from the other side. And so when you continue doing the actions, you slowly get there. But most people just give up before they even get to that point. And obviously, like, your universe, your reality is whatever you want to create. If you want to make $30,000 next month, don't put a time limit on it. Just say you want to make $30,000. You might not have the business model to do it, but that will be revealed to you if you take the actionable steps. And so everybody gets to the point where the hand is starting to be raised. They're starting to get there. You're making $2,000. Next month you make $1,000. Next month you make $5,000. You're more clear in your business and you make $4,000 the next month, and then you make $15,000 the next month. But most of you guys, you don't even get to the point where the hand is raised fully because you simply quit when it's being raised. And so when a roadblock comes up on our way of the hand being raised, on our way to get to that $30,000 a month or $40,000 a month, whatever it is, we attribute that to, like, okay, yeah, we're screwed. That was a major failure. But in reality, every single thing is a learning curve, and there is no failures, because if you position every single negative thing that has happened in your life, there is some positive aspect to it. Even the worst of the worst, you still have the ability to breathe. You still have the ability to create your own reality if you're breathing and watching this video. So every single failure that you have has led you to this point. And that is what is so powerful about the book, is that you just have to let go, because anything you want is going to happen. You just have to be patient and give it time. Now, this is something, like I said, when your hand gets raised, people they give up because there'll be a setback and the hand will stop raising. Then they'll go into that negative thought pattern. Then they'll go into the other transfer chain where it takes longer because the hand stops and they think that they lost all progress, that this is messed up. I'm going to switch business models. I'm going to switch life paths. This is screwed. And so now your negative thought patterns align with the script, and then the mirror reflects you back. So now your hand goes back down because you simply just fell back into the pit. But if you kept the outer intention strong and you understood that this is a part of the process, I'm going to get there, and you had unshakable faith, the hand would still be raised. And so we quit before we can simply let the mirror reflect our inner self, because most of you guys out here want to be really successful, but you don't let it take the time. I started posting YouTube videos a couple months ago consistently. I have over 125 videos on this channel, and it's still taking time. Did I give up 60 videos ago? No. Did I give up 70 videos ago? No. Because I simply understand that the dual mirror effect is present in my life, and that it is only a matter of time before not only the channel gets big, but before I start to, reap the rewards and actually accumulate the success that I want to accumulate. And this is a living testament. This video is a living testament. People will see this years down the line. Just know that I was patient. There was no get rich quick scheme. This wasn't an easy route. I'm doing this because I understand that the more intention I put out there, and not the stronger my desire is, I'll get into that right now quickly, but just the actionable steps I know I had to take, I was taking. And even though these videos get 100, 200 views, it doesn't matter, because I know that it's part of the process, and everything that happens between now and there is perfect, and it's going to line up exactly as I need it to be. Just because I have full trust that it's going to happen, and that's the lifeline that I picked. I could pick a different lifeline, but I'm not going to do that. I could pick a lifeline where I work a stable job and I'm cool, I love it, I could pick that lifeline. I just don't want that for my life. Some people do, and that's totally fine, but I simply don't want that. And so I hope that kind of cleared up some, passing thoughts for you guys. That's kind of how it goes as far as goals go. Now, when we reach a goal, or when we set a goal, $15,000, $20,000 a month, whatever it is, you want to lose the weight, you want to meet the goal, whatever it is, we build up so much excess potential, which decreases the likelihood of it actually happening, because we have so much desire of that thing. I need this $15,000 to be happy. I need this girl to actually, walk around with a smile on my face. I need this relationship. I need to lose this pound or else I'm not going to be pretty, or like whatever it is. We set our goals so much on a pedestal, and that creates excess potential. So the excess potential expands the higher we attribute our goals as goals, because we put them on a pedestal. We have huge desire for them. The second we decrease the potential and we say, it's going to happen, it's easy, and I'm cool without it, you tell the mirror, you tell the universe, whatever you want to call it, that you are still okay without it. You can still be happy and fulfilled without the thing, because you still have yourself, because you are the one that produces the happiness. If I gave you $1 million, you'd probably be happy, but you might still feel unfulfilled because I didn't earn it. I was just handed this money. And yeah, I can buy this nice thing or whatever, but I'm not really fulfilled. Fulfillment is what this book has taught me. You will be fulfilled, not chasing your goal, but you have to get to a point where I think he understood it, Vadim Zeland, where I think he understood the point where you get so fulfilled with life, you don't even care about your goals anymore, because everything that happens is just a part of it. And so when you get to that level of attachment, I think is amazing, because that's when people get super enlightened, because they simply think and they simply believe that they don't need anything. They're fulfilled, they're enlightened. And I think that's where a lot of people, or some people, very few people in history, I think, have actually gotten to that point. And that's what I truly believe. And so talks about energy, talks about goals, talks about frame. He talks a little bit about guardian angels. I'm not going to get into that. Transfer chains, I tried to explain. Visualization, allowing yourself to receive negative slides, positive slides. And so this is something that has excruciatingly absolutely changed my life. I'm now running the slides through of, what I have to do every single day. I can, visualize myself, my eyes open, sort of just running the slides through. Okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And it's really about having that intention to get to your goal, and then understanding that you're going to get there no matter what. And everything that happens between point A and point B is a part of the process, and you have to trust it. And so I think that's where letting go really plays a huge factor. And that's where a lot of us fail. A lot of us have the goal. A lot of us have the dream. A lot of us have a desire. We set the intention. We want it. We go for it for 3-6 months. Doesn't work out, or a roadblock comes up and you're still working. You don't see the results as you want to. And the hand goes from going up to matching it in front of the mirror, because it's going up and down right now, because I can obviously see it. It goes from going up, going right back down, because you simply lost faith, because you simply went back to that negative belief pattern. And now your life's script is aligned with whatever you want it to. And so if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts and you align your negative script with that, that's what it's going to be. And that's the most powerful thing, because I know how quickly I can get, shoveled into negative thought patterns. And I know that just loses so much progress, because you've built up so far, and it's not even a bad thing. Like, stop being so hard on yourself. It's all a part of it. It's all a part of it. It's all a part of it. And so if you take every single negative scenario and you try to find some light, for me, when clients cancel their contracts, it's happened before in the past. I used to take it really personally. But then I realized I just kind of let the feelings pass. I just kind of was an observer, and I was like, okay, I feel the emotions, but I'm not going to go down that negative thought pattern. I'm not going to think about this more. It's happened, and I'm just going to let go of it. It's not that serious. And then, 2-3 weeks later, an even better thing comes up. And then I also realized that, holy crap, this wasn't even a good client, because just the work we were doing, it just wasn't good. And then I realized that that was actually a blessing in disguise, because I would have been pouring more of my time, energy, and money into that client, or time and energy into that client, and it would have not really been a good relationship. And so understanding that you have to find light in every single situation is going to be key to growing. So pendulums, choicing, letting go, lifelines, dreams, inner intention, outer intentions, goals, slides, positive slides, negative slides, lifelines, transfer chains, visualization, guardian angels, frames, goals, energy. Everything is in this book. If you pick up Reality Transurfing steps 1-5, I promise you it'll literally change your life. Now, like I said, I read over 50 self-help business marketing books, and this one is probably top 3, if I'm being completely honest with you. So with that being said, guys, hope this video helped. Hope this entire breakdown pointed some light. I try to be as actionable as possible. and as examplistic, that's a word, as possible, because I know a lot of you guys are on the path of entrepreneurship or on the path of self-development, and it's super key that you understand this concept. So I hope I broke it down for you guys well enough. Hope I didn't talk too long, and I'll see you guys in the next one.